Welcome back to Process Education. This is Zed. Today we're going to be talking about PROG. In this video we're going to cover a bit more due diligence, technical analysis, and what we can anticipate in the next few days or so. Now, I made a video on this back on Monday, but I received a lot of requests on my Twitter account, so here we are again. This is an update to that video. So some of the most important thing about this one is their upcoming earnings. But if you never heard about my videos or watched them before and never heard about PROG is a biotechnology company innovating in fields of gastrointestinal health and oral biotherapeutics. So some of their products that they're working on currently goes as follows: oral biotherapeutics, gastrointestinal health, and women's health. So they got systematic therapeutics under oral biotherapeutics in delivery systems. Under gastrointestinal health, you got GI targeted therapeutics and diagnostics. Under women health, you have preeclampsia, rule out test, and non-sequencing single molecule detection. Now, there is some global markets and percentages that we got over, but the major catalyst that we're looking for is coming in closer towards the PNG OB2 pre-IND meeting with FDA, preclinical PK data generation for OBDS, and RSS clinical proof of concept study. If we're getting an update on that, that's a milestone. And GI Pharma top line clinical PK/PD for Adlium in ulcerative colitis and Preecludia validation test. Now, in terms of this third quarter 2021 financial results, that's happening on November 2021, on November 10, by the way, after the close of the financial markets. There will be a web conference happening on 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 1:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Depending on where you're at, you can actually either tune in and call or sign up on their website. Now, another thing I do want to take a quick look at is their previous quarters. So we're going to take a look at the trends. So back in quarter 2 2021 all the way to quarter 2 2021, you're seeing a bit of an improvement in terms of income before tax, although the operating incomes looks a lot better than what you're seeing in income before taxes. In the last quarter, you've seen around $35.7 million in net loss or net operating loss, and you're able to see that in quarter 3 generally it was lower for 2020 compared to 2020 quarter 2. So that's around almost the same, but a little bit lower. So we might actually see one of the best operating income quarters in a while. Now that would bring the stock price a little bit higher as well. Now, income before taxes, they had a bit of income returns back on quarter 1 2021 that helped with that. So there's nothing really to see as an anomaly in why you had 17.5 and then 41.4 million loss respectively between quarter 1 and quarter 2 2021. In terms of net incomes, this last income was actually one of the worst out of all the quarters that we're seeing right now, and hopefully that will be better. You can anticipate that should be better coming up in the next quarter. The majority of those net losses really came on net income before extra items. The total extraordinary items that put 37 additional million loss. Now, on other things, we're able to see like depreciations, things like balance sheets, but we're not going to cover that because we're mainly looking at their sales and growth. Now, in terms of institutional buyers, we see on the 2nd of November, Victoria Capital Management added around 14,200 shares. New York State Common Retirement Fund liquidated their entire position on the 2nd of November, and Raymond James Associated added around 22,000. That's the transactions so far in November. In terms of the short interest ratios, we have 0.4 days to cover yet, and the dark short pool volume is around 48.51% at this current time. In terms of the short shares availability, there's around 400,000 with a high short borrow fee rate of around 80%. That's considered high. So technically short squeeze could be possible, but we don't have the short flow data that can be accurate for this video. Now, before moving on towards technical analysis, if you'd like to see more contents like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and leave notifications on. Also, don't forget to drop a like. You can join our Discord if you would like to chat with us in the description below. Let's move on towards technical analysis now. Now, from a technical analysis perspective, what we're seeing here is some critical things going on. First off, the price point is very much clinging onto the 200 SMA, which is critical. That SMA line for 200 day, if it's above it, it's bullish, below it, it's bearish. Currently, it's just below it at 311. That line is currently sitting at 315. 50 SMA is climbing upwards, and that's a nice thing. At some point, 50 SMA might actually cross the 200 SMA from the bottom. That's a very bullish thing called the Golden Cross. Now, between the 10 SMA and the 30 EMA, where the 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA, another bullish thing, there's something called the trading action zone. That's between 340 and 257. That's currently where the trading action zone is and where most positive reversals will occur. And currently it is right in between there, so you can expect a reversal to happen based on this kind of fundamentals and technical analysis valuations. Now, in terms of average directional index, you're seeing it retract back to 48. It's a bit of a pullback. 1% R, which is very similar to relative strength index, is showing very close to oversold. That's a critical thing that we're taking a look at. We don't want it to be oversold. However, when it's oversold, when momentum kind of stabilizes, it really brings a lot more buyers to balance the equation in, theoretically speaking. Now, in terms of the MACD and momentum, this is very critical because the MACD histogram is testing a negative reversal. Momentum is just on the tip. It's 0.12. Now, it can easily go negative. Tomorrow is a very critical day. If it comes out green, you evaded that negative reversal. If it comes out red, it's actually the start of this negative reversal and can be very dangerous. Stochastic fast and stochastic slow are also pinpointing warning signs on where the next support is because it can be very ugly. Now, in terms of the moving average bands, this one is expected to trade between 309 on the top, 281 on the bottom, and 253. Currently, it's still going on this uptrend, but volumes seem to be a little bit dried now, and it needs some kind of a push like you've seen previously. Now, another thing I do want to cover quickly is Fibonacci retracements. We're able to see that there is a critical resistance that broke down previously as a support and is now a resistance, is at 340. You need to break the 340 in the next couple of days, otherwise this one basically loses a lot of its momentum. Above there, 425, 510, and 632 and 786. Supports are 235 and 65 cents. Now, if we were just doing price line actions, we're able to see that this critical support at 298 needs to be staying up, not broken. 269 below there, above there, or below there, my bad, 234, and then doing 206, going to 185, a bit to 165, and then down to around 150, and then 131, going to 115, and then 93 cents, and around 88 cents. Resistances, there are a few, such as the 333, and then above there, 376, 396, going upwards to 435, 477, 503, 517, 534, and then 598. You get the image. Now, a quick thing here I also covered before was a channel that I drew where we were talking about the different stocks or different levels where this one kind of broke down. So currently, it is still a bit on the channel itself. If it goes any lower, it breaks that channel. Now, this channel could be a little bit more strict, and you get to see it's still on the bottom of the channel nonetheless. This channel currently at the bottom of it is around $3. It cannot pierce down below there. It reached $3 today at the lowest, and that also triggers something called short sell rule, where it does restrict short selling. Now, what I do think is going to happen here in the next few days, if it in the next 2 days you don't get any green action, this one really breaks that kind of trend, so it does require some bullish movement. Otherwise, this might be a massive pullback and a disruption towards this movement and a negative reversal. What do you think is going to happen here in the next few days or so? Make sure down in the comments below, subscribe and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.